Welcome to this edition of Yasha Allah, part 2. As promised, Sunday, July 13th, 2025. We have to talk about this. Is something that's been on the table, but we have been taught to run from it. This is the Yashkara Explore Insights and Inspiration podcast show. So if you're new here, welcome. If you've been here for a while, you know how we get down. We don't hold no tongue, and we speak direct like men. Okay? All right, so ain't no sense in BSing. Let's let me get up here. Let's just get right down to it in a language that you can easily understand. So I'm going to put my board up here because I'll make a mistake sometime in hitting my keyboard, and that's the biggest problem. All right, so let's talk about what's really at hand, because I think I did a lot of justice with talking about the chakra yesterday. So, let's try to go more in depth in some of this. Now, we've been told the 666 is a bad type of entity. Okay. And even people back home, man, I be hearing people say, don't get that Alexa type of stuff. It talks to you. Anything that talks to you it's a 666. And we are become so ignorant that we don't know what we say. We just run from anything that's the boogeyman. And that's what Satan has been doing from generation after generation. Well, it's a new group of people that's here. And we are defining the BS that Satan has put before us and debunking all of the fear-mongering. When we talk about 666, we're talking about 6.6 triangles and 6 sides. It's really the common, it's like a common carbon. It's really how your body interact. Okay. All forms of life are based on the bonding properties of the element of carbon. Right? Watch this. Carbon has proteins, electrons, and 6 neutrons, which is all 666. So we've been told that's a bad thing. And you are 666, guys. Everything starts with you. Satan is nothing but Satron, and vice versa. Satron is Satan. We're going to make sense of that and try to get y'all to understand what I'm saying when I say that, right? So when we talk the sun, like I said in part 1, but let me put more emphasis on it. When we talk about the sun, it's the soul. You understand? There's nothing is coincidental. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? When we talk about the gray moon at night, it's really the mind. It's connecting. It's a connection with you and your chakra. The sun is connecting to your chakra. It's just not for vitamin D. When we talk about the earth, we're talking about the body. Your body is the temple that's grounded to who? Earth. Man, you are a bigger part of this planet than anything, but you don't know that. Once you start to understand, you stop running from the things that you was afraid of because your parents put you in so much fear. Let's talk about something of the soul. I got a lot of things. I should, try to get it done. I'm going to give much information as I can in this segment. What is soul? Let's just go for it. Let's just try to make sense of soul. Yes. The soul essence transcends the material realm, serving as a vital force that encompasses all experiences. It is the divine spark of observer and observer behind the visible and consciousness entity, negativity, reality unseen. Facts. We don't even have to see it. There's certain things we won't touch, like the Baphomet. And once you understand the Baphomet was it's nothing but an animal's head, and we believe that if we do anything to that or chastise it, where it's an evil entity, but it's really not. The mind, emotional states, and the sensory realm is the beginning experience reality of the soul. And an immortal flame within empowers the utterance of I am, the letter I, a singular line denoting unity, represents the true self devolved of gender, name of form. It is the invisible one that phrases following the phrases I am. Renate within the delusion, confusions of material world. The soul has experienced the program being played out by the central nerve system. So what do we mean when say so he wants to sell your soul? Well, yes, you can't sell a soul. That's facts. I heard a lot of people put that in the chat room. But what's the importance of Satan having you of soul? He needs your chakra. Because when you make an agreement, all right, and you give your undivided mind matter of chakra, you're letting an entity control you. You know that, right? See, because you're not selling a soul, but when you make a decision and you play to it and you agree to it, because see, an oath is a serious thing. Your chakra really takes oath a serious matter. And the first thing Satan wants to do is get an oath from you. See, because really you're not selling your soul, you're giving an oath of your persevering chakra to Satan to control you. And once you do this, the universe doesn't forgive that easily. You can't get it back. Now, there's ways around it. Maybe if the universe forgives, but most of the time the universe lets Satan have you. Because what you did, you told the universe, you told the sun, the moon, understand, let's go back. Sun is soul. The moon is the mind. You gave all of that. Even as a physical person, you standing on earth because you're the temple of earth, you give all of that for money. And with the oath, the universe is going to let that stand, guys. It's like being in a court. This is what you agreed with Satan. So you're going to have all the riches you want, but your life is going to be miserable because the universe has nothing else to do with you. And that's why Satan feels so strong and compelled to toy with you, to humiliate you, to do anything he wants to do with you. So you got to be careful about giving someone an oath, especially of your chakra. Now, it may be kind of confusing the way I'm saying it, but you can't sell a soul, but you can definitely offer your chakra to an existence entity for riches and for fame. And when doing that, the universe has nothing to do with you. You all have the capacity of reaching Satan or entity and becoming filthy rich. See, because you are your own mind, body, and soul. You are the earth. You have a temple of earth. So you can reach out to the demons at any time and they will acknowledge. I explain how these content creators are becoming super rich, right? Let's just, even the guy named Charleston White, he's playing that big game because they offer him everything he do. He's vibrating so low because he wants power, food, and sex. And that's all he sees. He don't see nothing else. I don't care how much sense he's making, because a lot of things he makes sense, but he's vibrating so low because his hand is with Satan. His chakra is with Satan. His temple of earth is with Satan. He's making that oath. You see? That's why you see him on so many platforms. So let's try and make a little sense. Make a little sense out of the mind. The mind, the perception of soul's experience is generated by the mind. The mind, with its but boundless capacity, opens the doors, limitless possibilities, every manifestation and its facts. You can think of anything, but you doubt yourself so much. The way you think about being successful, and the minute that you think the success is too good, you're like, nah, that'll never happen for me. Keep that strong possibility of what you really want to be and watch it becomes a reality. Every manifestation finds its own origin. The individual's mind takes, for instance, the act of kicking a football. It begins with a decision formed in the mind. The mind serves as the projector for the soul. A prime example is astral projection, where the mind has the capacity to project consciousness, soul, and to an aerial, or should we say astral plane, and the dynamic the soul takes on the role of the observer, the mind as the projector, the body serves as the vessel for the reality of the inhabited. You have all the power, man. That's all it's saying. Soul and mind, it goes hand in hand. But we get caught up because you want to be famous. And when you want to be famous and money is vibrating low. Fame, power, food, sex, that's all vibrating low. Right? I hope I mentioned the hexagram with the Mason hexagram, because the Mason type of ring, when you look at a Mason ring, y'all say, oh man, he worked for the devil. These people, some of these people are working with this chakras so deep, you have no understanding what they do. Because a compass is nothing but masculinity of a triangle above and the lower triangle of femininity. It's a compass. That's all it is. But it represents 7. So, before I forget, let me go to some of the stuff I got written down, because I know I will forget. So let me just pan through here. I got stuff already ready to go. Okay. So let me tell you about 9/11 a little bit. Satan is Saturn. Now, why do we say that? Because everything of Saturn becomes of a black cube. Now, go find these things out yourself. It's going to enlighten you. We're getting to the rabbit hole right now. Why do we talk about the black cube of Saturn? Well, the Trump Towers is nothing but of Saturn. And I keep telling y'all, Trump is nothing but Antichrist, man. So let's go and talk about this. The 9/11 memorial is black cubes. Now, anybody that live in New York, go look at 9/11 memorial from afar, like up in the air. It's made of cubes. You probably say, what's the point? The cube, I'm going to try to read it for you, if I can find it. What the cube represents. All right, let's write. Another symbol for Saturn is the black cube. Saturn exhausts in the winter, which symbolizes death, dullness, coldness, and darkness, so that the color black was associated with Saturn for its darkness. That's why we get the black cube of Saturn, which is the formality of Satan. That's why the black cube is a symbolizing of the spirit of what took place at 9/11. That place is still of a ritual. It's like a permanent mark that Satan made a ritual right in front of our face. The Kabbalah in Arabic, right? The Kabbalah is big in Arabic in the things that they believe. You can really read the Kabbalah yourselves. You can look that up. The so-called Judaism is nothing but the satram of based on religion. Religion means restrain and keep down. And if you don't follow the protocol of religion, they usually kill you. Okay. Mm, let's read some of this Judaism. Judaism. Well, first of all, let's read some of the days of the week. I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but let me just break it. Saturn is of a Saturday day. Now remember, Saturn is of Satan. And a lot of people worship on Saturday. Jupiter represents Thursday. Mars represents Tuesday. Sunday represents, no, let me do it. I'm doing it wrong. Saturday represents Saturn. Thursday represents Jupiter. Tuesday represents Mars. And Sunday represents the sun. Friday represents Venus. Wednesday represents Mercury. And Monday represents Moon. Black cube on their forehead when praying, black band wrapped around them and symbolize Saturn wrapping you in physical matter, covering their eyes into blackness. Star of David is actually the star of Saturn. Their day of worship is Saturn day of Saturday. Now, this is the so-called Jewish Ashkenaz Kazakhs. This is their world. You understand? Now, they are very evil people. You ever wonder why they were black? The reason the so-called Ashkenaz, the Kazakhs who call themselves Jewish, wear black hats, black clothing, black shoes, they're representing of Saturn. Saturn represents the black cube, and Saturn also is the symbolization of Satan. These people are in plain sight worshiping Satan, and you think that they're the best next thing to a Snickers bar. They're the evilest people on the planet. Their children, their children's children, etc. All right, let's make more sense of it. Black cube of Saturn. They had a game called Nintendo's GameCube. So every time they come out with something, man, it's a symbolization of some type of chakra to get your mind. Everything that they do, everything that's put here is not to help us, it's really against us. But if you understand your chakra, you're going to be okay. All things written, all things within this three-dimension physical world have a six-side up, down, left, right, forward, and backward. Our mind has projected itself into three-dimension world of Saturn to experience the simulation. Saturn is the computer in our minds and has been uploaded into, that's really into us. Hence, we see game corporations use the symbolic, or we should say symbolology of Saturn and their products like Sega Saturn and Xbox. Yes. Everything they do is a symbolization of chakra. You probably say, well, why they go through that much trouble to get to the chakra? Because you are a master of your own domain. You heard that term? Because you are the earth of the temple. You are the 144, man. So how do you start to alleviate the 144? You have to tap into the chakra. And once the chakra is tapped into with no spirituality to protect it, you become vibrating low with thinking about power, success, college, food, and sex. That's all you think about, and traveling. You know, that's 90% of the world right now. That's all they talk about. You heard the term "think outside the box." That's a perfect term. What they're saying: think outside the cube of Saturn. Saturn of symbology. 911 was nothing but a Saturn moment. The Corona drink is a is a symbolizing of the crown of Corona. Saturn rings is symbolizes by crowns. So you make that crown. Go look at the Corona of beer and drink. It's made like a Saturn symbol. Everything that they put on this planet is trying to erupt your chakra, man. Because once they get to your chakra, you can't think. You become a zombie. You become fear-mongering of everything. What about the number one social media site, TikTok? Have you ever thought about that? TikTok means time. It looks similar to the seal of Saturn. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? TikTok is nothing but Saturn. It's in plain sight. You know, I mean, I want to give you how much as I can, bro. Mm-mm-mm. The term "you've been hexed," you remember that? Oh, she put a hex on him, but the true reality, every human being that's on this planet is hexed. How do you remove a hex? When you start to control your own chakra. Because right now, man is controlling your chakra. Media, sports, entertainment, sex, money, power, jobs, they're controlling your chakra. Why we so afraid to get fired? That's too much power to give somebody, man. That's too much power. Oh, man, I mean, oh, it's just so much. You're born into sin. That's just, I got a lot more, I got some more to say. Saturn also looks like it looks like a hat pulled over a circle. It's also some symbolization. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Let me just get to some of this because let me just bring up Islam because there's a lot of Kabbalah associated with Islam. Have nothing against my Islam brothers, but y'all really need to think before you react and become a part of any type of man-made religion. And Islam adheres worship the Kaaba, a structure shaped like black cube. The cube's dramatic, dramatic form is associated with the creation of matter, where black signifies matter and white symbolizes spirit. This symbolic connection is drawn to Saturn, considered the deity of matter, with the cube state, let's say cube society of Saturn's North Pole. Additionally, in Islam, rituals, individual circumstances, and circumambulated the cube, mirroring the rings surrounding the Saturn, drawing and symbolic a parallel between the kebab and the rings. I didn't know they had rings until I just really just started looking at this. So you see the star and the half moon. Some of this is all rituals, man. And they good folks, there's some good Muslims, but whenever you start to be a part of a group, I don't care if it's Muslim, Jehovah's Witness, you call yourself Hebrews. When you start to form with a man-made, it just becomes chakra resistance. Most Muslims don't use their chakra. They vibrate in braille lows because they keep up with whatever man say. And that's facts. They don't, not, a lot of them don't vibrate high, man. Don't mean they're bad people, but once they start to think for themselves, a lot of times they look for you to kill. Why would you want to kill me because I'm using my chakra and I thinking outside the box and not following what you say, because some of that shit goes to Satron is Satan, a lot of his rituals. But if you question Muslims' belief, they'll kill you. That's when you know it's bad. They're not using their chakra. They're following fear. They'll kill you out of fear. Okay, let's see. Um, some stuff I'm just not gonna bring out. That's gonna be in the rabbit hole a little bit longer. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna bring some of this out, but I will bring this out. As beloved, as below. Let me just hit y'all with the Bob gun real quick, okay? So I want to talk about this because it was cut off yesterday. You know, I asked this question to someone and it was hard for them to answer. Where do we get the term Elohim? You know, you hear some people put it in song. What do we get Elohim? What it does it really represents? Elohim represents 7 planets. And why is 7 so significant? Because 7 is the end to a new beginning. But let's go. Seven planets represent Elohim: Saturn, Venus, Mercury, Sun, Moon, Mars, Jupiter. Right? Now, if you look at the 6-point star high, it's a 6-star. I should say it's 3, 4, 5. It's a 7-star. If you can look at the 7-star, if you ever find one, you could probably Google it or AI it. And we can start with Sunday. Sunday is the sun, giver of life. Right? If we go with moon, which is Monday, emotive. Yes? If we go with Tuesday, it's Mars. It's a projector of self. If we go with Wednesday, it's Mercury, intellect. If we go with Thursday, it's Jupiter, spiritual gifts. I'm explaining you why I'm saying this. If we go with Friday, it is Venus, expressions of the first principle of love. Okay, if we go with Saturday, it is Saturn, structure, discipline, justice. Because even though that's good, there's always going to be evil. There's a time for everything. Ecclesiastics, right? Now, I did Sunday first. So why is it important to understand these 7 symbolic days? Because days was created in the form of universe. And every day is a projector for you. Man would never tell you this. So let's just say the day is Sunday. The sun is of Sunday, giver of life. This is your life today. Tomorrow, when you wake up, it is moon of Monday, emotive. Tuesday, when you wake up, it is a Mars, projectors of self. You're supposed to always be putting your chakra to work. Wednesday is a Mercury, intellect. Thursday is of Jupiter. Your spiritual gift is alarming. You're supposed to be trying to chakra your gifts. Every day is something for you, man. We just sit back trying to get overtime, trying to get that college degree. That's why you're vibrating so low. Elohim is in the middle of all of this because that's what Elohim represents, 7 planets. But you, of the 7 planets, you're supposed to be acknowledging every day of the week for yourself. Friday, Venus, expression of first principle love. But y'all don't know nothing about this. You just wake up every day, just smoking, drinking, get some days off, want to go to a movie. Your chakra is not even turned on, man. And I'm just telling you something. Let's take it a little bit farther. All right, let's talk about the 7 elements. This is rulership here. Saturn, element equals water, metal of lead. But at the same time, it's a twist with Saturn because it represents the cube of blackness. But there's a split part of that as well. It's an element. It's talk about the sun, or should we say, yeah, the sun. The sun represents fire, metal, gold. The sun is also of life. The moon, the element of earth, metal, silver. Mercury, element water. Everything is some symbolic of what we come across every day, but we don't acknowledge. Stones, agate, topaz, trees, planets. This is all over Mercury. Animals, birds. You probably say, what's the point of all that? Because our chakra acknowledges this. And once we open up that chakra, that's just why the wildlife want to be next to us, because now we are a beacon of light, of matter, of earth. Now we are embedded to earth. It's like we're growing like a tree. We're growing because our chakra is now has alerted everything that's living. The wildlife animals want to be next to you now. You can go to the zoo and watch the wildlife come up and just stare at you. And I ain't talking about regular people. They are looking at you wherever you go. They want to walk with you. At that point, you have so much power. You can tell a gorilla to break down that damn window. He'll do it. You probably say, we got that kind of power? Yeah. But they keep you guessing. So how can I destroy your chakra? To keep harassing you, keep arresting you, driving white black. If I can keep you on this race card and keep you divided, understanding that you're just a worthless nigger, you'll never understand your chakra. That's why you can't be around people that's vibrating low, man. It's going to destroy you. Even if you're a woman vibrating low, got to break up. You got a man that's vibrating low, got to break up. Because you cannot, your chakra will not be its full capacity because it's not going to react around negativity. Okay. Um, Lord have mercy. I want to talk about this thing with gay, because I got shut down. I don't think, I'm putting the 30 minutes that got lost in the sauce yesterday. But let me try to make sense of this because I want to really hit on this. Because I think a lot of people think when we talk about homosexuality that we're homophobic and all this, that, and the other. But it's really a science behind it. Nobody is homophobic. They try to make you believe there's nothing wrong with it, but it's a lot wrong with it. Not trying to get no one to change. I just want you to hear this out. Why it's so confusing and why that is such how we say, an abomination. And this is just going to be facts. This got nothing to do with scriptures. I'm just going to give you facts of theology and science of why homosexuality is totally left field. Watch this. Now, you have to understand why the Most High made man and why he made woman. A man gives off masculine electricity, which is air and fire. A woman gives out femininity, which is a magnetic water and earth. This is why when they both have sexual encounters, the semen, the electrifying, being connected to that magnetic, because your penis goes into that woman's vagina. It's almost like a magnetic field. You notice how the penis goes in the vagina, it's like a perfect fit. And sometimes it's just like, it's almost like it just was a loophole, like it just went in and stuck until you pull it back out. When you go have sex, it sticks until you pull it back out. It's being magnetic. How many times have you held your woman and you inside of her, and it's just like a chastity of magnet until she pushed back off, because you're pretty much, your penis is locked in her vagina. She creates magnetic water and earth. That's why she has so much secretion. I want you to understand where I'm going with this, okay? A man creates masculinity. That's why his penis becomes rock hard, air and fire. When he's having sex, he's having the vagina gets really warm, right? It gets real warm and it creates an airflow. How do we know that when a man inserts his penis in a woman's vagina, it creates an airflow? Well, when he's constantly going in and out, you start hearing, let me take the, because it's not going to let me do it. I put it on there. When a man's inside a woman's vagina and he's going back and forth, pretty soon you start hearing, poof, poof. Why? Because the man has air, masculinity, electricity that is going in and out that woman's vagina, and her vagina has moist. She's the body of earth. The woman is earth. A woman is master of her domain. She produces life. Her femininity is a magnet to the man's masculinity, causing his penis to lock in her. That's why I say when you get real close and making love to your woman, she had to push you off, because it's almost like your penis is locked in her. Watch that. Next time you say, I've had that happen so many times. I'd be telling babe, why you get stuck in me? He's not stuck. You're magnetic, sweetie. That's why the Most High say you cleave as one. So what's the moral of the story here? A man and man will give off too much air and fire, electricity, causing an abomination. When a man put his penis in a man's anal, that is no femininity of water and earth. That is waste, feces. That is a dark matter. That is abomination. A man's semen destroys a man's anal because it's like air and fire. You understand? Despite how you like it, it's totally abomination. When a woman has sex with a woman, it's too much water, too much of the human earth, because they're both of master domains or producers. So those magnetics is not getting no satisfaction. Basically, you're just licking saliva and secretion of femininity. There's nothing to produce. It may feel good, but the universe don't understand it. This is a science matter, guys. Has nothing to do with religion. This is a science matter. That's why we have a triangle that goes up, that's above, and a triangle that goes over the above triangle, that's below. The man is above, the woman is below. When two women have sex, they're both below. That's a dark matter. When two men have sex, they're above. That is totally abomination. There's nothing to produce. It's nothing but confusion. That's the problem with Sodom and Gomorrah. They didn't understand philologies of matter. They didn't care. They just went with what felt good. And they were so into bestiality. They had sex with their relatives and so on and so forth. And what they were molesters. You know, gentrification. This shit went on forever. Now, this has brought a new term of humanity today, because it's seen to be perfectly okay to rape, to traffic women, and to be a pedophile. It's almost like you get a reward for it. So this is why this country has to be recompensed. You understand? So when someone tell you why it's not, they won't even listen. They won't even get nowhere near where I just told you. But when gay people listen to this, I'm not trying to change you. I'm showing you what science of reality of the realm, what it leads to. You can't have two masculines that don't produce intertwining. It's confusion and abomination. You're ruining yourself. And then they go adopt. When you adopt something, you're going to destroy it. You can't teach it how to produce because both you guys are masculine of electric, and all you can bring is air and fire. This is why when a man has sex with a man, even period of times they have to get sewn up, the anal splits. It was never meant to have sex back there in the first place. And when a man does that to another woman, he's really creating a dark matter because he splits her as well. That's total confusion, abomination. I don't know why women let men put their penis in their anal. I just don't understand that, but it is what it is. So I tried to do my best breaking down that homosexuality, and it has nothing to do with scriptures, but the scriptures just clarifies, but the science of it, of the earth, tells you that something's not right with it. You can do what you want. No one's trying to change you. But if you listen and go back over what was said, it makes matter. In order to have life, there has to be air, fire, water, and earth. A man just produced air and fire with electronic, frequency. You can't produce life with just air, fire, electricity, or frequency. You have to have a magnetic of water, earth, and femininity. You see, it's the Most High wasn't making no mistakes. Man got in this world and said he made a mistake. No, you made the mistake. You're just freaky. That's all. Just tell it like it is. You're a freak. You're like George Clinton. I was just knee deep. She was just knee deep. So she did the freak with me. She did the freak. That's what you do. Everything is a symbolizing of our chakra. All the zodiac signs is a symbolizing of our chakra. There's no mistakes in this world, man. Okay? Numbers are very big in our world. And once we understand the numbers, we have an understanding of a chakra. But a lot of people are not using their chakra right now. They're just living in fear. Most people live in fear. And all they think about is their bills. How much money can they make? Going to concerts, cheap food, sex, and power. It's just so much. I don't feel like doing these super long shows. The Kabbalah tree of life, because this is what a lot of the Muslims already know. And they have it's just so much these people be doing. And some of them understand the chakra. That's why they're more advanced than a lot of people, because they understand how to use their minds to get what they want, because the world belongs to you. So when man tried to group you and put you in a little divide and conquer, he's a greedy bastard. He wants to conquer you. Man wants to be your Lord and Savior. This is why he charged you for water, electricity. How you going to charge me for electricity? I'm already electric and my wife is magnetic. No, but man likes to control. If he can control you, he feel like he's your God. You see what I'm talking about? So when you see all these things that happen, it's nothing personal. They just want to be a Lord. They want to control you. And all religions is about control. Okay. I would go to Kabbalah Tree of Life, but I'll probably do it in another segment, because the way they think is all written. And most people just bypass all of this because they don't understand how certain folks think. Okay, let me say this. I'll leave this alone after this, I guess. Electric what do you call it? Magnetism is nature. Watch this. This is going to trip y'all out, and I'm going to let y'all do this on your own. I'm going to call it quits, okay? Notice how the seeds are always in the center of the fruit. We're talking about an apple, and a lot of the fruits are in the middle. Watch this. This is one reason why they wanted to get rid of seeds and fruit. You're probably saying, why? Because the seeds symbolizes nature and not just that. Magnetism. What is magnetism? Watch this. Notice how the seeds are always in the center of the fruit. The center of the torus field is the hyperboled. I'm saying that right now. Hyperboled, which is the renegades in the field. The seeds are what renegades the fruits to keep growing, as above, so below. See, fruit grows high, but the roots are below. This shit makes sense. Now, why is it so important that we notice the apple when we cut it, or fruit when we cut it? You know, it looks a lot like an owl. An owl is a symbolization of knowing all things. Yes. By understanding the torus field, you will understand all things. Also, the fruit is a symbolization of your nostrils. Yeah. It's a symbolization of your nostrils. We smell, eat, hear with our chakra. We can even look at something and tell whether or not we like it or not. That's the beginning of understanding all things. But once again, you get fearmongering and you forget and you run. It's just so much. I'm going to leave that like that. But yeah, all fruit, when you cut a fruit open, most have seeds, and they look like two eyes, because a fruit is a tree of life above and below. This is why they like to remove the fruit seeds, so there'd be no life there. You can never figure it out. They do everything for a reason. Do you think they got rid of the seeds because they want a faster production? No. They wanted to get rid of the seeds and the fruit because their eyes, they electric magnetic field for your chakra. That's why it's so important to get rid of the seeds out of watermelon, because the watermelon is nothing but 100% magnesium. Eating the seeds electrifies your chakra. So they made a picture as above, below. Yeah. So I'm just going through, I'm about ready to call it a day. That was the 30 minutes that was taken. I hope I did well with presenting it again, because I was on a roll yesterday and I was like, what? 30 some minutes was cut. Oh, not this time. We're going to make sure. I'm going to leave it with here. Symmetrical. When you have a lot of love, you're symmetrical. When you have hate, you're destroyed. And that's why you can't change certain people when they hate black or white. They destroyed their chakra. Did you know that? When you have love and understanding, you symmetrically, it is awakening your chakra. So that's why when people are angry, mad, they can't use their chakra. They're just a body of nothing. And that's why you have so many people getting killed, because their chakra is totally turned off. If their chakra was on, death would not find them. Not until they did what they're supposed to do while they're on this side. There's a There's a assignment that you're supposed to do. When you die early or you just dead for no reason, died robbing, you destroyed your chakra. And you're just a walking zombie. Christianity, sun worship. Well, let's see this. Before I read this, I'm going to make sure it makes sense. Yeah. I'm going to give y'all this because y'all need to hear this. Christianity, watch this. Jesus symbolizes the sun. This is why Jesus always had a sun on the back of his head. Now, it's killing me how they say Jesus, because we know that that's not true. The name Jesus, it wasn't existed by man, but we're just going to go how man writes it. Even in truth, some of these people are not awakened to the Most High's reality. But let's read it for what it is, okay? Jesus symbolizes the sun. This, I can't say it. I'm going to have to say it the way I know. Yah symbolizes the sun. This is why Yah always had sun on the back of his head. However, depending on the context of the parable, of the verse, of the Bible, he can symbolize many other things. The true esoteric meaning behind the Bible has been lost over thousands of years of the translation and manipulation of the scriptures. The true meaning is more than likely concealed within the high degrees of Freemasonry. So you probably said, what does that mean, Yash? The true reality of scriptural is with the Vatican City. But they can't have you look at those scriptures because it's going to elevate your chakra. So instead, they make a King James version. You get it? They do a Jehovah Witness version, a Mormon version, Methodist, Catholic, Protestant. You get what I'm trying to tell you. So all of these things are a symbolization of confusion, because the real translation of what we stood for has been lost and never been recovered. So every book, even the scriptures that you read today, has been orchestrated by Christianity. And I know that's going to hurt a lot of y'all feelings, but it needs to be said. This is why when you read scriptures, you have to have that chakra open so that you can read above the parables. That's why some Christians get offended off anything. He cussed. There's no such thing. He used bad words. There's no such thing. There's words of spells. And there's darkness of the realm of Saturn and living in a black box. But when a person says shit, motherfucker, damn, they cringe. Sad. Because once again, they are leading with man's teachings. Their chakra is totally closed. Okay? And no one's going to make the Most High as a man of color. Nobody's going to tell you that the people of the earth was Indians, indigenous Indians. They're going to make you think that everything was them. And here we came along as slaves. Even in truth, even some of these people that write the truth of the truth, they're blind. And they refuse to acknowledge a man of color of truth. So even reading some of these lost books, I still have to have my ancestors, have my chakra go beyond what man written, because they still hate us while this book was being written and all the other books are being written. There's a lot of lost books, guys. I happen to have one. So let's just put it this way. Man hath come so far of cleverness to telling truth, but man still have a problem with acknowledging us as Most High's truth seekers and people of favoritism, of indigenous. So therefore, man cannot be trusted. And you have to open up your chakra so that the ancestors will start to answer you. And that's all I'm saying. I hope that this made sense to you guys. I hope that it was enlightening. And I hope part 2 was just as good as part 1. You just have to understand, man, that's not even the end of the rabbit hole. Hell, I skipped over a lot of shit. That's the beginning of the manhole. Because the rabbit hole is the truth. There's no end to the rabbit hole. The rabbit hole is you. It took me 12 or 15 years to tell y'all. The rabbit hole is you. You can end the rabbit hole anytime by the way you think with your chakra. But if you keep digging, see, the thing is, we get all these books and we keep digging and digging, which eliminates the way we can comprehend and vibrate high with our frequency. Instead, we look for a man to keep giving us a book. And when we don't hear what we want to hear, we vibrate even lower. When a man put on a costume and march, you're vibrating at your lowest. Because your chakra don't need to tell others who you truly are. You don't have to march with fringes and a shirt on to prove that you are who you say you are. That's a person who's vibrating low, because what does that symbolize? Power of structure of a group. That's what you're trying to represent. We're the Israelites. We power. We're marching. Look at us. They're vibrating extremely low. I guarantee you, from the elders to the saints, none of them know how to work their chakra. They'll just go to the King James with a stronghold, and those people vibrate extremely low. I'm Yash Kara. I love y'all. Hope the show made sense. And I bid you very well, because you haven't seen nothing yet. This is only the beginning. One love.